The movie opens with an elite commander named James Wright storming into a Japanese martial arts dojo in search of his long-standing nemesis.
Where is he?
That man in that photo. I spent time with your father in Bataan.
My father spoke of you. A great fighter. You bring trouble and dishonor. I'll give you trouble. What is it you've come here for?
The story then shifts back to 1942. James is being chased through the sky by an enemy aircraft when his plane is hit and goes down. At this time, the Japanese army is completing its brutal 3-month campaign to seize the final strongholds across Asia. After the crash, James is seen dragging his injured comrade out of the water. As he looks up, he notices another aircraft crashing nearby. When dawn breaks, Japanese soldiers begin combing the area to determine whether anyone survived. James is soon captured and brought before the Japanese commander Ito. Showing absolutely no mercy, Ito orders his soldiers to cut off James' head. James is taken away from the camp to a deserted location where Captain Hanno tells him to kneel. James complies silently. Hanno draws his sword and carefully places it against James' neck, adjusting the angle to ensure a clean execution. Just as Hanno raises his blade, James suddenly jerks backward, causing a strike to miss. James escapes, but the Japanese soldiers quickly give chase. In his panic, James stumbles into a trap they had set earlier. His knife slips from his hand and falls to the ground, leaving him helpless. He is recaptured and taken back to the camp. Furious, Commander Ito demands to know why James is still alive. Captain Hanno explains that James attempted to escape but was caught in their trap. When Ito learns that James killed several soldiers, including Captain Hirano, he completely loses his temper.
James Wright, Corporal Hirano, was like a brother to me.
Best condolences.
Tomorrow, you die.
Captain Hanno offers to execute James immediately, but Ito refuses. He realizes that James is not afraid of death, so he decides to punish him in a way never done before. James is thrown into a cell under constant guard. The camp holds many prisoners like him, most of whom have already died from extreme torture. That night, the prisoners speak quietly among themselves. One man tells James that even as prisoners, they still follow military discipline within the camp. There are strict rules, and survival depends on obedience. He also mentions that they still have their own commander, who is kept in a separate cell and will meet James the next day. James replies that he is unsure whether he will even be alive by morning, as the Japanese have threatened to kill him. When the prisoners learn that James killed 3 men, including a captain, they are left stunned into silence. The next day, all prisoners are brought outside. On Commander Ito's orders, a soldier approaches James with a sword. James believes his execution has come. Instead, the soldier unties his hands. James, along with 3 other prisoners, is taken into a fighting ring. Ito announces that these men were caught hiding food in their cells. To discourage others, they must be punished. He calmly sits down, as if preparing to watch a performance.
Fight to the death!
Later, Ito storms inside angrily. The captain insists James must be killed immediately, but Ito refuses, saying James is different from the others and will pay in a special way. The following day, a prisoner named Gabriel jokingly asks James if he was holding a stone during the fight, amazed by what he witnessed. James then meets Collins, the prisoner's own commander. Collins has a badly injured leg from an explosion, making it difficult for him to walk. He asks James where he learned to fight, saying that no one had ever survived the ring during his months in the camp. James replies that his training came from many places: Hong Kong, Thailand, and even Japan. Soon after, Japanese captain arrives and takes James to Commander Ito. Ito asks James the same question, where he learned their fighting techniques.
I've trained many places.
James, do you like a drink?
Let's get this done.
Ito's head must be spinning right now.
Why didn't you finish him off?
They don't want to die any more than we do.
Okay. Because in about a week, they're gonna march us to another camp.
We need a radio.
A radio is stationed near a guard post by the watchtower. The next day, prisoners deliberately start a fight to distract the guards. As the guards rush in, James climbs the watchtower and steals the radio. Gunshots are fired into the air to restore order, but James has already succeeded. During this moment, a nurse notices him, and James signals her to remain silent. Moments later, a guard approaches the nurse and begins harassing her. When she resists, he slaps her violently, knocking her to the ground. James watches helplessly, filled with guilt. James carefully hides the radio and sneaks it into their cell. One prisoner warns that the radio can only receive signals, not send them. If they attempt a distress call, they will be caught. He also warns that if the guards discover the radio is missing, everyone will be tortured until it is found. James reassures them, saying the camp has many radios and one missing will go unnoticed. The next day, Commander Ito gathers all prisoners and announces that some were seen entering restricted areas. He accuses Collins, but Collins insists they have the wrong man. That night, James sneaks out of the camp with the radio and travels deep into the jungle. Turning it on, he hears voices speaking in Navajo. Meanwhile, a guard checks the prisoner's cell and lifts James' blanket, finding only empty sacks. Strangely, the guard does not raise the alarm and quietly leaves. James returns to the camp and tells the others that American forces are nearby, as he heard Navajo code over the radio, even though he could not understand it. He then explains his escape plan. When he first arrived, he noticed a glider with no engine. However, it has a hook designed to be pulled into the air by another plane. If an aircraft flies low enough, it can latch on and tow them to safety. Gabriel points out that the plan is extremely risky and could fail if the hook does not connect. Before they can continue, a guard arrives and takes James away.
Fight on this. It will help.
James collapses and loses consciousness. When he wakes up, he finds himself in a Japanese medical camp. His wounds have been treated, and a nurse has been assigned to care for him. He recognizes her as the same woman from earlier. Her name is Teresa, and she is also a prisoner. Teresa tells James that Ito has been unable to sleep, fearing an imminent attack. If it happens, he plans to kill all the prisoners. James is later returned to his cell, where the prisoners are relieved to see him alive. One tells him that while he was away, American planes flew over the area. It is now clear the Americans are very close. The only thing left is to contact them using the radio, despite the risk. That night, James and Gabriel sneak out again, but a guard spots them. They quickly neutralize him. The next day, Ito gathers all prisoners and announces that someone broke into the barracks and attacked guards the previous night. He says this could not have been done by one man and demands the guilty step forward. James sees that Collins has been severely tortured. James steps forward and admits he attacked the guards. Ito says he is pleased by the honesty, but insists James was not alone. He brings another prisoner forward and orders James to kill him, promising that Collins will be spared. James decides that everything must happen that very night. They will send the signal no matter what. The message will include a few Navajo words, so the Japanese waste time trying to decode it. By the time they realize it means nothing, it will be too late. That night, James and Gabriel sneak out again and begin transmitting the signal. The frequency matches, and they successfully make contact with the Americans. They insert meaningless words to confuse the Japanese, then return to the camp. But their cell is empty. Guards suddenly appear and beat them unconscious. When James wakes up, the battle has already begun. American planes are bombing the camp, causing massive destruction. The Japanese begin killing prisoners and preparing to flee. Teresa unties James and explains that after his capture, the attack began. Ito has gone mad and is slaughtering everyone. Outside, the camp lies in ruins. The survivors reach the glider, secure it with ropes, and prepare the hook. An American fighter plane flies dangerously low and releases its hook. It connects perfectly, and the glider is pulled into the air. They escape to safety. Not everyone survives. James promises himself that one day he will return and rescue those left behind. 8 years later, after World War II ends, James returns to Japan to confront Ito, because their unfinished business is far from over.